Well, look who it is. Look what the grub dragged in. Two of my favorites. I'm sort of refraining from talking until the water heater turns off. There's no use trying to talk over the water heater. It's like trying to marry a lab rat. You never know what you're gonna get. So why even try? Just don't even fight it. Just accept your fate and go from there. Granddaddy always told me, accept your fate and go from there. Thermite, do you have to yell at me in front of my friends? It's quite embarrassing. Yeah. I'm trying to make friends, and there you are telling your silly knock-knock jokes, offending everybody. You are not racially sensitive. You are very insensitive. You're kind of a bigot. And if they understood what you were really saying, there you go. Go to sleep, darling. I love you. Always have. Go to sleep, darling. Until next time. Gotta close the window 'cause I get so goddamn loud. Ugh. Therma is my water heater. She kicks my butt when I try to beat her. She's made of steel, made of cylindrical metals, and I can't make a dent inside of her. She kills me in my sleep. She drowns me in the bath. She looks me up in the high school yearbook where we met right back in math class. Remember that, darling? Golly gosh darn dang. Those were the days with my girl, a thermo. Water heater, yeah. Remember those days, darling? I know you do. We're all here for that. Hello, Daniel. Yeah, I was thinking about you as I was singing that. Zippity ding da doo, bop a doobie da bop deepity. Because why not? Right? Why not? Hello, Gene. You wanna go move? Gosh, I'd love to. I'm finally making a little bit of progress down here. That way I can get back on my feet. A little bit more. That way I can get back out on the street and do the thing that I do the best. Is I punk rock hip hop dance in the street. I'm a punk rock hip hop dancing fool. I will dance circles around you and your posses. P-O-O-P-O. Oh man, I hear cats fighting in the distance. That was actually kind of scary. I had to think about where my cat was for a second. Oh, I still hear him. But other than that, well, we live in different states. That's the thing. Otherwise, I would be all about it. Huh? Wait. Yeah, not Annie this time. But I care for the mosquitoes. I hope they're not weaponized. Oh, they're always. You don't. I mean, it's like nobody even talked about mosquitoes before 20 years ago. They weren't even a thing. You never heard one thing about them. I didn't even think they were invented yet. But now they're just all of a sudden, what are these mosquito things and why are they weaponized? You know what I mean? It's all there. Whatever you read about mosquitoes being involved in a lot of things in the past, it's not true because they just made them up about 15 years ago now. And I remember the day when they announced that we have created the mosquito and malaria. And then people had to think back, like how much time has gone by since the first outbreak of malaria, and how did it happen if the mosquitoes weren't even born yet? See, that's the thing that gets me. That's the thing that keeps me up at night. What happened to the mosquitoes? That's what I'm always asking. Because I don't even think they're freaking real, man. I think that they're just in our heads. It's a collective illusion, a delusion, a spill illusion. It's a spillusion. It spills over us like an illusion in the darkest delusions of the deepest crevasses you can imagine, you can conjure. There we go. Let's turn this. Let's turn this the other way now. Nothing makes sense, but everything is beautiful. It's so weird. Kind of sucks. Because it's so dang cool, but it's horrible at the same time. I could be having the time of my life, but you know what'll take me out of me having the time of my life is cats off in the distance fighting. Like one of them sounds like it's being eaten by a wolf or something like that. I can't handle that. I can't. My attention is drawn. It's split. It's pulled in a different direction. The cat's not making any more noise right now, so I think we're. But now the wind is blowing through the window and it's creating this. I feel sorry for the goddamn wind. What is going on? I'm gonna weep for the wind. I'm weeping for the wind and the wind's coming in again. Shoot! Now I'm thinking up stupid country western songs for it. I'm weeping with the wind in the willow tree. Oh, give me some of that wind, Jimsy. I don't know, something like that. Hope somebody's writing this down. Go break it up, film it. No. It's like there's a big ravine sort of thing behind our. There's like all these weird. It's where I live. It's really weird. There's houses. It's you know what I mean? Whoa, just like that. And there's people's like backyards basically, and they all have cats. Mine stays inside, but it was out there, and now it's not. They're not making noise anymore. I think the owners got them, but I like to think that maybe my energy, my thinking about it, me talking about it, like we just were, that helped bring it to an end. It helped bring that battle to an end, so we could all just have a little bit of peace, and I could be a better entertainer for all of you. You see how that works? Isn't that weird? Isn't that cool? I mean, work with me here. It's just this wonderfully, awkwardly, beautifully, sillily, crazily experience that we all share, that we all act like is so personal. When I don't know, it's weird to think like in a stall next to you, somebody's taking a dump, or like, and if you're in an apartment building 2 feet away from you in another apartment, somebody's, changing their clothes or looking out a window, for crying out loud. They're looking out windows everywhere. Every time I go around, there's always people looking out windows, and I think it's the craziest thing. Some kind of insane window watching collective that nobody's ever invited me to the party, So I just talk about drawing. I just talk about things I love. I like the people I hate and stuff like that. And then I go from there. I reverse engineer my life, my feelings, and all my thoughts, and every little thing that comes out of my heart. Sorry. Every little thing that comes out of my heart. And then after that, I'm just free. It's like free range. Chicken, I don't know. I'm a chicken with golden wings, my friends. And I am coming home to roost. Hi. I have no idea what I'm talking about. How's everybody else doing? Sorry. I got a new stand today, and it's working really cool. I can actually be like right near my art. I used to rather dislike Mike Tyson, but now no more. Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of people that do certain things. There's certain things you kind of can't come back from, or you shouldn't be able to come back from. And homie did some bad stuff when he was young. It's I don't think it's I don't know. People shouldn't get away with things so easily just because they are who they are. Yeah, I think he's an amazing person, but also at least keep in mind just the horrible shit too. Don't ever forget that kind of stuff, I guess. because I admire certain artists and musicians and stuff that have done horrible, horrible stuff, you know. But like, you know, back when I was a kid, I obviously didn't know certain things, or it wasn't out yet that these people were so weird. But but then you get older and you're like, oh man, that guy. Oh yeah, this artist did that. Oh, damn, his art's good though. God damn, his art's good. You know. I mean, me, I have 17 bodies in the backyard. I shouldn't have said that. I thought this was a dress rehearsal. I shouldn't have said that. It's 19. After tonight, it'll be 19. But good for me, I can't count or speak in a logistical way. And so what it boils down to, friends, is that I have 3 cars. They're pretty hot, and I need them off my front lawn. So I need you to come and get these cars and get them off my goddamn front lawn. And then you get your sorry ass off my front lawn too. After you mow it, por favor. And thank you in advance. I pay top dollar for my mown lawn skilling people. So bring it on. I'll divvy it out for the best job done. Yeah, we'll give it a few weeks in between. We get a contest. At the end of it, I'll pay the right one, the one that did the best. Oh, I'm not gonna be cheated. Anyways, I appreciate that, everybody, in advance. That's the Mr. T. Don't beat anybody that don't deserve it. Fair enough. I didn't want to get into a debate, but I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff, any sort of violence. I was angry towards a mosquito once, Gene. You know, I've told you this story a million times. When I was a young Papuan, I stumbled across a mosquito nest, and I accidentally killed one. And I spent the rest of my life with the vow of silence hanging over my head. For this mosquito had a name, and I didn't give him the right to exist. I just swatted him away instinctively. You remember the story. You know what happens next. And then I ate the little bastard. Well, I got sick, Gene. Really sick. You know this. I told you about this. Remember this story? I told you all about it. And then I turned into a goddamn mosquito, Gene. And that's how we met. You brought me back from the abyss, Gene. You pulled that stinger right out of my ass, and I appreciate it, and I'll never forget it. And then I turned into a rabbit. They call me Thumper. I'm just hogwashing around, y'all know that. Dork, don't call me dork in front of my friends. Look at them, there's 5,000 people watching right now. You're gonna give them ideas. This is still my Chanel. This is still my Chanel. It's always good to interact with people that I love. Love to see him, love to see him coming, love to see him going. Wait, what's the expression? Hate to see him go, love to watch you leave. Or whatever. Stupid. Hello, vegan. The block nail polish keeps growing back. Well, you know it's not Polish, right? No. It's Polish. It's Polish. If that's what you're trying to say, you're right on the dot. That's the dot right there, actually. But I constantly, it gives me something to pick at. Like I'll do my nails right before I go to the dentist, and by the end of the session, it'll look like this. This is just from having to go out and conquer some of the anti-artists out there this morning before breakfast. I took down a battalion of anti-artists. Yes, I crawled out from the mud behind them as they passed onto my land, and I struck them from behind. I struck them down. And then we all went and had some tea and biscuits, and I taught them how to draw. And now we're friends. All right. True story. I would never lie to you. Ever. It's not a plague, it's It's just the way it's just the way it's written. It's just the way it's written. I wish I had a stray kitten. A stray kitten. I wish I had a stray kitten. A stray kitten. You all know this song. A stray kitten. Okay, why not black and but type in the become 10. Why not black and become no time but 10. Well, that's a good one. That'd be kind of cool. Just like dip your fingers and no, I've done that too. But then, because I actually chew at the skin on my fingers as well. In my sleep, I have them in my ears, in my nose, and all over my hair, all over my armpits, all over the place. And then I'm putting this shit in my mouth. So I've got to put gloves on. I put on barbed wire gloves. That way I do not attack me body at night when I'm trying to sleep. It's not the devil. It's me. And I've come to roost. Only on Sundays though, and it's casual dining. I dine on my own soul. Sometimes. Other times not so much. You all know the drill. What? No? Fair enough. No, that'd be cool though. Like, well, maybe not cool, but for like a horror movie or something, just like have somebody dip their fingernails in, or not fingers, but the fingertips up to their first knuckle or whatever. These considered knuckles or just joints? I consider them knuckles. Um, in like red paint or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. It'd look cool. Just this like cadaverous, corpsey looking thing with red fingernails, kind of like the creature from the Guillermo del Toro movie, Pan's Labyrinth, with the eyes on its hand. I think its fingers were kind of like that, and they went sort of pointy, like Dr. Seuss or something. They're kind of cool. It's my kind of stuff, anyways. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this new stand, trying to make it. But then turn this upside down like this. Why not? How so? Why not? I don't know. Let's see. Finger nibbler, huh? Same. Oh yes. Always have been. I when I was in the fourth grade, they took me to the hospital because my breath stunk, right? My dad said my breath. I was probably like, yeah, I started kindergarten when I was in the fourth grade. I'm sorry, jeez. I started kindergarten when I was 4 years old, and I was getting ahead of myself, literally. Um, yeah, I could have waited a year by the time I was 5, because I turned 5 in November of my kindergarten, of that year or whatever. And so I started when I was 4, and then I turned 5 when November came of that kindergarten year. Anyways, um, what the hell were we talking about? Why did I bring that up? What the hell? Oh yeah, I apparently at some point I had put a sponge, like I tore off a piece of like a sponge for the kitchen sink, and I shoved a piece up my nose, and I just like crammed it up into my nose until I couldn't get it out, and it just kept going and going, and it was like up in my sinuses and stuff, and it was just up there rotting. So it was just rotting, and my breath, whenever I spoke to my dad, he said it stank like dog poop, but he said the other word, shoot, dog shoot, and so we went to the doctor, and they took those forceps, and they like reached up into my sinuses like Total Recall style, and they pulled out this like massive, disgusting sponge and grossness, and because it was all infected and stuff. Oh my gosh! But I was also the kid too that would get things stuck on my fingers, like those building blocks and stuff, and they had to like cut them off, and would cutting off my circulation to my fingers. I was just a weird kid like that. Sort of had pica with certain things too, and I felt more like an animal than a kid. In a way, that's true. I don't mean to make it sound super silly, but I felt like more, even though I was pretty, like, you know, I don't know, gentle. There was there was always a animalistic part of me that would come out when it needed to. And, but mostly I was just always passive and trying to like keep the peace. And always, ever since I can remember, I was trying to like stick up for people who couldn't stick up for themselves. And I was a superhero, is what I'm trying to say. Please send me money. I want all of the money. I'm a good person. Send me some money, please. No, it's all good. It's all good. I don't need your money, but if you want to send money, send it to. Are you writing this down? uh, anyways, feral animals. Yeah, I was kind of. I could be feral. Plus, we grew up out in the country. Um, I grew when I was young, before my parents ever, the same year I was just talking about when I was 4, 5 years old, kindergarten. We lived out in a place called Williams, California, way out in the middle of nowhere, way outside of town. And we didn't even go to school in Williams. We went to school in Colusa, which is where we lived for a long time too. Where that's where my parents separated. And I went from kindergarten to second grade in Colusa, and then we moved to Davis for a while. So I moved around a lot as a kid, and Colusa was super small and it was very rural. And where we lived, there was like two out in the middle of nowhere. There was like two barns out there, and 100,000 acres of foothills and the mountains right there on the side of the valley in Northern California. My brother and I used to just pack a little bit of a food, and go out for hours. By my dad and my mom let us just go out into the freaking pastures for hours and hours and hours. I'm like 4 years old, and Gabe's like, I don't know, 7, 8, and he has a tape recorder, and we're out just going in these ditches and finding dead animals and running from live animals and meeting like horses out in the middle of freaking God knows where, way out in the middle of nowhere. Just like a big group of horses just runs up and greets you. Or we find like an old cemetery or something like that. Um, and it was cool living in those places. So my imagination was very fertile as well. Ever since I can remember, I was always drawing and singing and thinking about both and doing both. Dreaming. I was always dreaming. I was always a dreamer. So that helped my stupid little mind. But yeah, the best of both worlds. Because then I grew up in other towns and in town too. We had left the country, moved in town. Then my parents separated. My dad, when he moved to Northern California near Chico, he moved out and got a bunch of, a little bit of acreage, like 5 acres, um, out in a place called Capay, California, just outside of Orland, in between Orland and Chico. And he started getting he got his first horse, which was a racehorse, an old racehorse that was 4 years old, named Quenser. Big ass racehorse. To rope, he was like trying to teach this horse how to rope from, but it was a very tall horse. It's an old racehorse, and anyways, yeah, it wasn't the best of horses for that. And then my dad started getting other horses to learn how to rope, and my uncle was a roper. They were cops too. My uncle was a hardcore undercover narcotics task force, all that kind of stuff. Cop. My dad was a sheriff. He was a police officer for Chico, retired from the force. But I have a huge step family who are quite the opposite. of my real family. So again, always had the best of both worlds. A little bit of both. I'll have it all. That's why I can never make up my mind. When you learn something from everybody, it's hard to narrow it down sometimes. Sorry, Cricket, are you asking me a question? You have family out there? Out where? We made fires every day, and my parents never said anything. Like, it smelled like camp. Aren't you good? Sheriff Grubb. I come from a long line of sheriffs, actually. Yep. It's a thing. And it's a thing that ends with me and my brother. I never wanted to. I have a thing about authority to a certain degree, you know. There's so many things that I grew up not understanding and still don't to this day. Just the big picture stuff, certain kinds of equality that I won't get into now. I think politics always rubs people the wrong way, and I get really passionate about the things I talk about. So I tend to not try to talk about it unless I'm talking about big picture stuff that everybody sort of understands and kind of hopefully would agree with. You know what I mean? Like equality, which isn't just well, it is an umbrella term, but you know, there's different kinds of equality, and some that are more paramount than others, in my opinion. But again, who am I to talk? I just think you can learn something from everybody, and I just don't like that so many people shut other people out just because of what they look like, what they sound like, or what they, you know. I mean, unless I don't, it's so hard, and I'd rather not. I'll stop talking about it. I just have a lot of feelings about the world, and I wish everybody the best. It hurts. It hurts me to see other people suffering or hear about it. Everybody, all of you. So I tend to try to tune out as much as possible because there's nothing I can do to help. You know, I don't have any power, and it hurts me physically. Like, it makes me sick to my stomach to think that there's, like I said, even a cat out there crying, let alone people out there suffering. So, just one of the many thousands of things I think about while I'm doodling. All the thousands of things going on inside my noggin as I'm drawing. And I'll be a big pile of dust someday. And someday relatively soon, you know, like within your lifetime, perhaps. Definitely within mine. Hey, if you don't joke about it, where are you ever gonna shoot about it? Shitty shit about it. And if you have liquid, take a drink of that liquid. I want my friends to be hydrated. I want all y'all to have a big shiny shot at life. You deserve it. Equal equalities. That was my woke punk band from 2012, bro. Unequal equalities. Our first song is called Get Off My Lawn, White Man. I don't know. Get off my lawn, white man, because I'm white. Hey, you turned that around on me. Yeah, I did. Now get off my lawn, white man, because I'm white. Get off my lawn. You know what I mean? Sometimes the kids just want to hear some rock and roll, is all. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to kick some ass and chew some bubblegum. Looks like we're almost out of ass kissing. I mean, bubble, but what is happening? What is? Oh my gosh! Just forget I said anything, okay? I just wanted to go live tonight just to prove that I actually do draw on my channel. I've been doing a lot of those, what do you call them, shorties? I've been doing a lot of shorties lately, and those shorties have been kind of fun. I hope everybody's enjoying those shorties. But this is what it's all about. Drawing shorties. I mean, drawing up a storm. Do you like balloons, vegan? If you like balloon, I'll send you a balloon up in the sky, and it'll come down and wherever you are in the world, and it'll go right into your face and pop right in your eye. Just let me know your address, your latitude, longitude, and I'll just send it right over. I have a way with drones. Drone Balloons, that was the name of my punk rock hillbilly band from 1926. Give me some of the drum balloons. Give me some of the drum balloons. Give me some of the drum balloons. Do you remember that? Those were the days. We were such Hickersons back then. Oh, hillbilly Hickersons. Oh, that's when everything made sense. That's when the world was good. When everyone was just decent. Was just decent. Does anybody remember that? No, I do. I wrote a song about it too. And everyone was decent. I wrote a song about them too. All that stuff. I was just trying to connect them. I often suffer brief but frequent bouts of deep-seated existential horror. Will vitamins help that? Well, it depends on what kind of vitamins we're talking about. Now, if we're talking about sun vitamins, I say why not? If you're talking about moon vitamins, I say maybe you should read the label. Okay, maybe you should talk to some kind of lunologist or something like that, because I'm not the right person to be prescribing. You know what I'm getting at, mate. You know what I'm getting at. I know you know what I'm getting at. Okay. Right. Okay. Had to pull myself together there. Okay. That was a great question. And then the next one is balloons, specifically when they pop, is one of my biggest. Yeah, dude. I freaking hate balloons. One time I was actually hanging out with a friend in a bowling alley, of all places. Hit my buddy Michael Swan. Oh God, I feel. And he's like the sweetest, gentlest dude you'd ever want to meet. And I put a balloon right up to his face or something, and I said, "Hey, Mike," and I like popped it right in front of him, and the freaking thing popped in his eyeball. It like snapped. You know how they burst. It bursted, and it snapped his eyeball, and it got all red and puffy and stuff, and I was just like, "Oh my God." I mean, he was suffering like a mother, and I was so traumatized that I hurt my friend like that. Of all the people in the world, there, wasn't trying to hurt him. I was just trying to do a prank sort of thing, and I've never felt worse in my life for doing something like that. But the thing, yeah, the rubber, when it popped, it just smacked him in the eyeball, like directly in the eye, and left this huge welt across his freaking the side of his face. And I kept saying something like, "Do me, man, just you can pop one in my face," or something like that, because I felt so bad. He's like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling pretty good, Storie. Oh gosh." That's actually, his voice sounds kind of familiar. I can't really place it though. Strange. I never saw him again after that night. He disappeared. He went into exile. Last I heard, he went crazy and he went into an asylum. And the last thing they ever heard him say was that he was going to get back at Storie Grubb one of those days. Like, they have a recording and it sort of goes like, "I'm going to get back at Storie Grubb one of these days." Like that. And I've always been keeping my eye out, but wait a second. Hold on just one golly gosh darn dang minute. People, hold on a second. I think, therefore, I am. Okay. We're on the right track. See, I was just trying to connect the dots here. I'm just trying to impress y'all. I know I'm not. I'm not. I'm not that. I'm not. I'm not. So I'm not. I'm tied up in knots. I'm tied up in knots, and I think that's obvious. There we go. He sounds like Terry. Oh my gosh. Wait. He does sound like Terry a little bit. And to be honest, I've never really seen Terry's face like all the way. They're always behind a sheet of glass, and I've been trapped in this place for 49 years. Nah, he couldn't be. There's no way. Why did I make that look like a wiener? What is going on right there? What was I? Oh, that's right. Okay. I was really confused when I looked back at that. I was like, what? Where was I going with that? This is a family-run channel. G-rated, my friend. If it wasn't for all the swearing and the cussing and the nudity. Somebody's like, draw a hamster with boobs. And I say, yes, my friend. Absolutely. You got it. Anything you want, darling. Really? Yeah, anything. Okay. Draw a hamster with boobs and wearing a tinfoil hat. You got it. Really? Yeah, I'll do that for you right now. Okay. Well then draw a hamster with big old boobies wearing a tinfoil hat dancing on the graves of my grandfathers and forefathers. Why would I want to do that? I'm not going to draw that. But I thought you were going to draw it. When did I ever? I never said anything like that, man. Fine. You draw it there. Well, I'm the one drawing, so of course I'm going to draw it. Get off me. Stupid ass. Sorry, friends. I just had to sort something out right there. I don't know if you were... Nope. Nobody's listening. It's all good. It's all good. It's Saturday somewhere, and I'm sure a lot of people are just out there having fun. I'm just soaking in the sun, trying to make friends. It's all good. There we go. Perfect. Wouldn't you say? That looks like me when I wake up every single day. Especially right there. That eyeball right there. That's exactly how I wake up every freaking day. Let's see if I can pull this off. A little skull. It's a little skull head. With some kind of pipe going through his head. Maybe it's some kind of face hugger. Ellen Ripley, eat your heart out. No, it's more like a stick or something going through his skull. A stick through the skull. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. And then something like that. Deep right there. Cramming a boop, do it up right there. Perfect, right. Little dot, dot, dot. What's going on there? There we go. Perfect. Just trying to fill in the gaps. In life, that's all you can really do. Am I wrong? No, you just fill in the bloody gaps. You get in there and you do what you can. You get creative. You get in there and you get creative. You get rid of the all that stuff. But whatever you do, you just can't be afraid to do it. Give it a go with the gaps. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'll be saying that until my dying day. Well, I'm kind of off script there. Did you see that? That was horrible. I was trying to draw this thing. Maybe somebody can talk me out of it. I could draw like that. I love doing that style, but I would have been through a notebook already and forget using marker the first time. Forget using marker the first time. I think I understand what you're saying, and I love you. I just wanted you to know that. For you, it's like I've been looking out for you my whole life. I've been waiting, and I'm sorry that I stole your style, but I couldn't help myself. For the first time I saw it, I was flabbergasted. I ran into the nearest bathroom stall, and I wrote a poem. And this was 39 years ago. Hold on, I shall tell you the poem right now. Oh, bathroom stall wall, shall I tell you my scrolls, my loves, my decadent heart? Shall I empty my bowels upon your breath? And then the bathroom says this, no. And that's the end of the poem. It's quite remarkable at the time. It was quite groundbreaking. And I started a poetic revolution across bathroom stalls, all across the country, dare I say the entire world. Nowhere were bathrooms safe from wonderful, wonderful poems from then on out. But I didn't take credit for it. I'm a humble genius. Nobody listens to me anyways. I'm joking, of course. I don't know anything about the Wild West, and I don't claim to. But I know this much. I'll be drawing until I'm dead. And on the last day that I am alive, they're gonna have to pry the pen out of my cold, dead, bloody hands. That was just an expression, bloody. I don't know if my hands will be bloody. Oops! Earthquakes. Whoa! Oh my gosh. Wait, don't do that. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. And then, yeah. I just gotta wash my hands if they are, but right before. Anyways, you get the point. I'm gonna be drawing right up until the end. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for the wonderful questions. Hey, sorry. Yes, Terry. How are you? I'm good. What are you doing? Oh, I was drawing. I was connecting to the two masses. These two masses, but I connected them. Did you see that? No, I just hear you. I was making tea, and I heard you talking and not drawing. I mean, you're not even drawing now. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that, Terry. Sorry, guys. Terry's my producer. I gotta be careful what I say, especially what I don't say. around him. He's not going to give me water tonight, I know it. Hey, Terry? Yeah? Are you going to give me water tonight, maybe? No. See, I told you guys. God dang it. No matter how nice I am. What? It doesn't seem like how nice I am. You always never give me water. Yeah, well, you don't really draw that much. You're not making money, and you're not being that, creative. You're not really, you don't really deserve the water, maybe? I don't know. Terry, you're so mean. I'm your producer, buddy. I'm not mean. No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely right. My bad. Yeah, you are. So just draw and make me some money, and then I'll get some water, okay? Yeah, good job. Keep it up. Just draw. Keep drawing. Oh, man. I guys see what I mean? It's really hard to work under these conditions. Especially when your producer just doesn't care. And it gets really scary for me. I don't know how else to tell you. Except maybe through a bottle. Like a note in a bottle. I can send it to you like that. Everything that's going down. I'll be able to tell you guys. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put all of the plans in a bottle, and I'm going to send them to a specific location for you guys to find. And then the first person to find it, well, you get 10% off of your subscription to my news calendar every month. Oh my God, you're going to be cheese of the month as soon as you can believe it. Storie Grubb doesn't fool around. We got a cheese club. We got a book club. That's right. We got a spork club, for crying out loud. A spork club. Sporks of all shapes and sizes, and you're welcome to come to the sport club. I should have finished that sooner. I'm sorry, that sentence. Should have left that hanging like that. Lo siento to my Spanish-speaking friends. It wasn't my intention to sound like this. I was just born like this. I can't help who I am. But I can help who you are. By teaching you the 4 rules of satisfaction. Just kidding. See? Those were the voices again. Doo-ba-doop-doop-doo-doo. Zoo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Voices in my mind. Voices in my head. Voices in the toilet. Voices in the bed. Wait, I was going to say under the bed. And voices under the bed. But I like in the bed better because that would make it to where the monsters were actually like in the bed with you, grudge style and stuff. Please clap. Please clap. And then I'll do this. And then I'll do that. Give him some teeth. Just some little monkey teeth. Do you see the nose right there? Voice in the shed are the ones you've got to look out for. Ooh, I like the way you think. Vegan Doll's proven that he is a gifted maestro with the words. He is a Willy Wonka with the word salads. He's impressive, I tell you that much. Yeah. Mr. Biscuits. I destroyed hopes and dreams into that that was pretty much what I was putting down there. I was picking up and I was picking up what you were putting down pretty much. And then I put down what you were picking up. Right back at you. Oh. Believe me, I'm quite right there with you. Definitely with the Shattered Dreams one. I've got shattered dreams coming out me ears and out me holes. I've got nothing unique to say about it. I can't articulate what I want to do about it anymore. Yeah, and if everything I've gotta say. You said it better than me, and that's why I cry myself to sleep tonight and every night for the rest of me life until the end of time. I'm gonna be pathetic forever and die alone. Wait, god dang, this is getting depressing. I must stop that one. That was getting a little dark. Honest yet dark. we're in a, that's not the right channel for that. This is Storie Grubb Draws, not Storie Grubb. Is depressing. Definitely not that. Oh. I'm cool with it if you are. I mean, I have definitely made peace with my demons, but at the same time, it's funny being able to use them against themselves. And that's what I try to do. I try to use humor to destroy fear and all of that crap that lives inside of me. Humor's always been a powerful tool that you can use against the demons. And then once they're dead on the ground, kneeling before you, you sever their heads and you drink their spinal fluid and you steal their powers. And I swear to God, my friends, you'll be sleeping with the devils that night. And you'll be the king of the angels. I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's kind of dark, and I like it too. I wish it was closer to October. I was going to say Halloween, but I said October, and so I was going to say October instead. I don't know where you guys are in the world and stuff, but just think about it. We could totally be playing frisbee in a park right now, if it wasn't just for, like, suffering and war and stuff, and my anxiety. Oh. Oh, chicken, did you say something? I've got it. Let me view. Better than being a really cute and fake, like a two-faced female. I don't know why it held that comment, but yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what gender has to do with it. I've seen plenty of fake two-faced malians too. I'm one of them. If not the biggest of them all. I'd be the first one to admit that I'm the biggest fake in the room, my friend. Always have been. Always thought I was some kind of important something or other. In my mind, I thought I was, or acted like I was. But the whole time, I was just fooling myself. And I've always been a very selfish, self-centered, first person kind of person. You know what I mean? Like, what's that thing? First, what do they call it? Like, oh my gosh, the only person in the movie syndrome or whatever the hell it's called. I'm the biggest hypocrite. I'm the king of the hypocrites. And I'm the king of projection. And it's my biggest flaw, is that I assume so much about other people. And there's some kind of weird competitive anger streak inside of me that I can't control. And you would never know it if you knew me until you saw me in one of those situations. But it's scary, and I know about it. I know these things, and I still do it. I know it as I'm doing it, and I'm still doing it. I can't stop sometimes, And I know a lot of people are similar, and they can't help it. But it's important to be honest with yourself and try to change. And then you can prove it to yourself and to others that you could, and that you did. I don't care who you are. You can change. I mean, psychopaths probably not, but everybody else, fair game. agoraphobia, I'd be there. That's the thing, you know. When I was growing up, I used to say, "Oh man, I was born 30 years too late," because I used to imagine myself walking in the marches and things like that against hate and racism and stuff like that. But I didn't do it this time around. I'm terrified of crowds like that, and I know how violent things can get in a heartbeat. And and there's certain things like, again, not trying to get into politics or anything, but there's just certain battles you have to choose, and my way of fighting against stuff is different than going out there and just yelling at other people about it, especially when it just turns into just chaos, whatever, which isn't. Sometimes it's like not the people's fault that are doing it, the protesting either. There's infiltrators, and then there's instigators, and all sorts of weird shit that happens during those things. But there's a lot of nuance in the world that nobody ever, that a lot of people, I should say, just don't really try to ever even consider. But when everything is political, then you're gonna find that that's the case. When people just have these immediate lines drawn, you're gonna. I don't know what I'm talking about again. See, I just start going there. But yeah, I've got a lot of phobias. Most of the time, they're not even super strong either. I'll just have mild versions of some of them. I remember when I first found out about agoraphobia, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a word for it. I heard Fantastic Four was pretty good. You're gonna have to go check that out. It's reassuring to even hear like the people that are usually haters of all these movies that are coming out saying that it's good. The effects I saw for Colossus, is it Colossus? What's his name? I can't think of his name. Am I getting it wrong? But the big dude, he looked freaking cool. But yeah, it's neat that they're making some good stuff coming out. I actually liked Superman. There were actually parts of it that I actually liked, but then there were other parts that were just very confusing. But I thought the effects and everything were pretty cool. It was really pretty and weird. Kind of a weird movie. They threw a lot at us in that one. But it was very much like a comic book. Sometimes in a movie you don't want it to be, though. Like, so much like a comic book. All right. I've got to run. I've got to go run to the border. I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Thank you, vegan. Thanks for hanging out. Hello, Alexander. How are you, Sir Alexander Leo? At your service. This is Storie Grubb. The one, the lonely, only, the one and only. Love what you got on the page. Thank you. It's a portrait of me ex-wife. Her name was Gracie. One day she shriveled up into a little ball, and she flew away in the wind. And that's why whenever I hear the wind coming through the window crack, and it's going, ooh, I think it's her. And it sounds just like her. No, poor old Gracie, but it still scares the bejesus out of me. I do appreciate your attention to detail there. I'm surprised you didn't. I'm surprised you knew that. We just met, and it's like you already know me or something. It's quite interesting. Is there anything else about me that you want to tell everybody? No, seriously though, because I need to know. I have amnesia. The only thing I know is my freaking name. I don't even know how I drew this. I mean, or why. Come on, man, throw me a bone. Okay. Okay, that's a skull. I know that much. So that must mean that I, I can draw skulls, sort of. That's teeth right there. I have an attention for detail that most will miss on the first pass. Sometimes, sometimes, there is this attention to detail that I will pass on the first gas on the way out the door, on the right-hand side, stage left, and the right-hand side of the page. I try. I aim to please because that's what I do. You're making me blush. I'll just sit here for a minute and just doodle while you just pay me some compliments then. Oh gosh, I'm also a dork, like Jean said earlier. And then Jean left without saying bye. Or did she say bye and I missed it? Darn it! Who am I to judge? I always leave without saying bye. Am I right, Alexander? You're so funny. No, but seriously, I forgot why I was even here and what I was doing. Yeah, I have a thing for. I guess it's some kind of surreal, pop surreal. I wouldn't even say this is super poppy, but it is my own version of pop surrealism, but with an abstract twist. I love neo expressionism, and I feel like if anything, I'd do that with illustration. I love Max. Is it Max Ernst, the illustrator? I could be getting that wrong right now. My brain is tired. But he did all these crazy abstract surreal collages and stuff. Um, a lot of them are black and white, but he did all these cool paintings too. Matt, non, is it Man Ray too? Man Ray did some cool stuff. I love the Dada. I love the Dadaists as well. But I'm also a big fan of Cubism. Uh, I sort of I saw the Cubist head that Picasso did in Portland. And I nearly fainted. I'd only ever seen like pictures of it, and then I just turned a corner and it was just sitting there. I had no idea it was even there. And this girl that I was dating at the time, she was like, um, geez, you like all the, what did she say? She's like, geez, because I was like standing next to it and I was just like getting ready to cry and stuff, like looking at this like head that Picasso made that I've seen 1,000 times in books, but never, whatever. And I was having this emotional, moment, even though I'm kind of this is anyways, Picasso the man is one thing, but the artist is just amazing to me and like all that stuff. But the girl was like, "Man, you just really like the popular ones, don't you?" or something. And she was like, this girl that I was seeing at the time, and I'm like, "What? Yeah, I only like popular artists. How is that so hard for you to comprehend?" And we had this big argument. And I'm just kidding. No, it was just like really insulting, and it really hurt my feelings. And because in that same room there was a Van Gogh, and gosh, there were so many others I can't even think of right now, but there was a lot in that room, and I was just all emotional. Because I have you know, I love art, and there's so many artists that I love, and they were all in that room, and she was just making fun of me. I was like, how can you say that? I don't know. She was kind of weird. Anyways, and funny. It's funny to think of now. You only like the popular ones, huh? It's like, what? I mean, just because he's popular doesn't mean he's like not relevant, or that it's not good. you know, it's just so, or that I can't be moved by it. It can be a song on the radio that it's like a top 40 song. As long as it moves me, what's wrong with that? Just because it's a famous song and it moves me. Don't ever let anybody tell you how to like art or love art or how to let it move you ever. Always think for yourself. Always be yourself. Never give into that shit. She didn't last very long, anyways. So, anyways, I gotta go now. Alexander. Yeah, it's great, especially working in pen. Follow some base principles. Happy little accidents. Yeah, that's kind of a thing. I call it filling in the gaps. I try to just put things down and then connect it. Just how a body is formed. There's sinew and tissue, layers and levels. Usually I'll do buildings inside of my stuff too, but this is more organic. But it could be anything right now. It could turn into anything, and I like that. I also love Giger and Escher. I love Robert Crumb. Just the art. As far as being inspired or influenced by other artists, it happens, but it's different for me. I don't read Crumb or anything. I don't have one of his comic books. I have some of his graphic co- compressed comic books. I have a lot. I mean, I have the freaking Crumb Bible behind me, but I can't show it because it'll get copywritten. Um, but I don't. I'm not like a collector of certain things. I'm a fan of that style, and so I'll like absorb it in a way and make it my own. I think that's what a lot of artists do. That's how art is. That's how art evolves to a degree. But um, I definitely try to do something new that I can walk away from and be kind of interested by coming back to it. If I leave it now, I want to be able to come back to it and be like, yeah, I'll keep working on this. And if it doesn't do that, I just move on to something else. But back in the day, I used to write songs all the time too. So I'd be like writing songs in the morning and then drawing at night. I had a whole schedule for all this stuff, and I'd go to work during the day, songs in the morning, drawing at night or upstairs while I was watching TV. But because I had a girlfriend, had to have a relationship. Ended up messing everything up because art was always first. Art was always the thing. That's why I'm alone in the world. And that's why I started this YouTube channel, just to promote art and to find other people that are like me, that are that are on the outskirts of society, that don't fall into anybody's shoehorn. All the weirdos, the people that don't fit in, that don't have a place. At least that's the kind of place I would like to build for everybody to come to, who don't buy into like all the labels and all the politics of every little aspect of life that everybody else cares about. Dorks. Not you, them. I see a world. The thing that pisses me off is just that the thing that makes me sad is just that I see potential everywhere. So much potential, and it just gets burned. Just burns up, floats away, turns to ash. It's sad. But that's where art comes in for me. It's the great distraction. Helps me forget that. Well, I guess it helps me remember that I come from a long line of artists. We've been here a very long time. We've shaped the world. We've shaped culture. It's true. Before artists came along, the earth was square. It was flat and it was square. Don't argue with me. I don't want to hear it. And we made it round. You ungrateful peasants. You normies. Us artists took it by the corners and we pulled back and we let go and it bounced back together and it turned into a big balloon. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Art. It's what happened. Anyways. Potential outside of, yep, I know. I try to be stoic. I try to understand that I have no control over anything but myself. I try and I try and I try. And that's what I was telling my friend earlier. Chicken nuggets. That I'm the biggest fraud of them all. So if they're gonna blame anybody, because they said something about something or other, and I was replying to that. But I think that's why how art has always been my the thing that pulls me back together, makes me round, makes me whole, reminds me because I do it so much I just forget I even do it. And I feel like it's always been that thing that it's who I am. It's who I will be remembered for after I'm gone. Certainly not, working day jobs, the certain day jobs that I thought were so important at the time, dishes, trying to impress people in kitchens or in your job, trying to move up or get a raise. It's like you're not going to be remembered for that kind of stuff. Like, what are you going to be remembered for? Some people don't care about being remembered. I guess I do. And I want people to know that I was alive and that I kept the fire burning. Because there's a long line of artists that came before me, and a lot of them never even had names, or that we remember, anyways. Like I say, my favorite artists are ancient artists, and they were drawing. They were making the most amazing art you could ever imagine on cave walls in the dark, with torches apparently, but also with a precision that only an artistic eye would appreciate. So I like to think that no matter what your color is or your time period is or anything like that, that we're all connected through a series of artistic and creative events all throughout history. And you can tap into it anytime you want. Like artists all tap into the same creative vein. It's like channeling something from another. That's something that already exists in the cosmos, some energy, some frequency that we can tap into, and you'll know it. And a lot of people will understand it because it's like going with that flow. It's the flow state when you're just in the zone. And what a wonderful, wonderful place it is to be in the zone. Even if it's just like playing basketball or something like that, you're just in the zone. Or you're just having a wonderful day. Everything is just going right. You hit all the green lights. You went to the bank and you weren't in the negative. You didn't get in the car. You didn't have to use your AK. It was a good day. The zone. You were in the zone. Let me tell you. On that note, you have don't dog you. I'm a very sarcastic person, Alexander. That's the first thing you got to learn about me. Is I didn't even have to use my Tennessee ragdoll today. You don't even want to know what a Tennessee ragdoll is, my friend. We were here since before ancient Greece. Yep, I know. And the handprints, the red handprints on the walls and stuff, and in the caves. It's such a cool thing. Yeah, depicting. That's what we do. We depict. I appreciate the words of encouragement, but I go far left and I go far right and I go everywhere in between. Cause I don't have any limits except the outer limits. I love the outer limits. Maybe even more than the Twilight Zone. Oh my god, he said it. Yes, I did. Oh my god, yes, I did. Yes, I. Oh shit. There's a horse. That sounds like a horse. No, it's just. That's the thing with me where it's, I gotta be able to. I have to be able to understand who I am deep down. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep being the ways that I am, that I don't appreciate towards other people. I've been a very, I'm not a very, I wasn't very, hmm, I'm not a very good social person. I'm very socially awkward, and I say things and do things that I regret, and I rub people the wrong way, and I don't mean to, that, but also that just comes with life, and that comes with the territory. I fully understand all that, but it's like I have to go through that shit in order to come out the other side whole again, to change who I am, to change things. And I encourage anybody, if they're in a rut, to, sometimes you got to hit rock bottom in order to pull yourself up and be somebody else, and be yourself, even to find out who you really are and what you're capable of. The other day, I learned how good I was at robbing federal banks. It was wonderful. I'm rolling in the dough. That's how I was able to afford a box of Sharpies. Yep, it's amazing. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna sing a song on the way out. Here we go. It's the Storie Grubb Draws song. You guys know this one. Storie Grubb draws in the dark in the caves where the antelope play. All the kids in the dark, straighten bananas and balloons, and they go another way. They're gonna eat Storie Grubb draws in the dark and cook him over the campfire. And everyone is gonna go outside and eat a duck. And Storie Grubb's inquiring, why are you eating a duck in front of me? And why do I sound like a little chimp sitting on a branch in a big fat banana tree? Art is neat, art is fun, art is for you and everyone but me. Storie Grubb Draws. All right. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly how that song goes. I appreciate the company, everybody. You go out there and you do something fun. You go out there and you be creative, be kind. Lead by example, and not in a bad way. You know what I mean. Oh gosh darn dang. Nah, I really do appreciate the company. Thanks, Alexander, for hanging out. Vegan, if you're still there, thank you so much. Everybody else, golly gosh darn dang, you're beautiful, and I love you. I absolutely love you. I always appreciate encouragement. But sometimes I also I want to clarify that I'm not as down as I sound. I'm just aware of things, mainly myself. When you're self-aware, it's easy to sound like you're uh, out of control. Maybe I don't know. But I've been in control of these horrible feelings for several decades, since probably like 1903. I'm 26 now. You do the math. But anyways, I really appreciate the company, everybody, and send me money as fast as you can through email. I don't care, even if it's gold, aluminum, wrap it up in tinfoil. I don't care. Just send it here, and the dogs will sniff it out. We'll be okay, and then like it'll be even. You won't owe me any more money. I'm not gonna send the guys to your house anymore. And nobody's kneecaps are gonna be hurt tonight. Nobody's got. I gotta go. Okay. I love you. Go make some art, everybody. Just go make some art.